So I wanted to quickly discuss something that I think might be of interest. I've recently discussed how Icarus XB1 was an influence on 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I shared this image on my social media. Now, as I'm watching science fiction films largely chronologically, I sometimes think I have an advantage of seeing how the flow of ideas and cultural changes affect cinema. So Dr. Strangelove was released in 1964, which is just 2 years after La Jetée. So I think Kubrick would have been quite aware of this exciting new film, which had come from France and was part of the exciting French New Wave. So I think most of the things, if you've watched the film, you'll know about Dr. Strangelove is that it's Peter Sellers playing 3 different roles, including the one of Dr. Strangelove, who has a gloved right hand which he can't control, and it kind of harks back to this kind of Nazi Germany past that this doctor's supposed to have. It's also a callback to Dr. Rotwang from Metropolis in 1927. But one of the most exciting homages is quite early on in the film. After the credits, it's the first scene and it doesn't last for very long. Take a look at this. And this one is the first still from La Jetée, which is 1962. I'll play them both together now. Both films deal with nuclear annihilation. They have mad scientists. They have a stark black and white style, which wasn't just for budgetary reasons, but also for aesthetic. And they both have kind of post-World War II German references in the film. Kubrick was a master, and one of his most famous quotes is, "The idea that a movie should be seen only once is an extension of our traditional conception of film as entertainment rather than art," which, thanks to a guest on the podcast, Rodney Hill, I know came from a 1968 Playboy article. For those who follow or adore Kubrick's work, know that he didn't do things by accident, and the fact that this image is black and white, the angles in it are very similar, and that it is a still image, and that sound over the top, to me, makes it feel like it is very much done on purpose. In La Jetée, it begins by explaining the event that they talk about, which is in the past, happened a few years before the nuclear annihilation. And it just made me start thinking that I think Kubrick meant Dr. Strangelove to be an explanation of how that annihilation came about. The kind of nuclear annihilation that would cause people to go underground and hide like they do in La Jetée. So let me know what you think in the comments, and keep an eye out for the Dr. Strangelove episode of the podcast, which will be out in a few weeks. Thank you.